Good evening, ladies and gents, and welcome to another seed of Mage risen from the ashes at the New York Living World of Darkness venue. The scene starts with the misty portal of that leads to the mountaintop pagoda temple complex, and three figures just kind of like step through it. Elijah and Ava and Nausicaa. Ava has a little puppy with her, little Paris, who immediately begins barking and yapping, and Ava has to calm down, and Nausicaa will kind of step forward with Elijah while she does that.
I mean,
Have you
everyone's
been here
seen
before?
This is the first time a
first.
puppy's seen snow. It's flipping out.
Oh.
And
well, that's certainly interesting.
I'm surprised you hadn't been here yet, seeing as it's just one room down from your door.
Well, you know me. I like what's behind my door.
Also can nods.
So, do we have a geographic location?
Nausicaa looks up to this. Yeah, looks up to the sky, which is there's literally like planets, like that you can visibly see, right, Duncan?
Yep.
And yeah.
The best example I could give is if you're on the planets on Mass Effect and look up.
I mean, he looks up and looks at her again. So?
Ava believes that it is not on planet Earth.
I mean, that could be... I mean, if we see the star, we could probably have a star map and see wherever it's supposed to be.
You can see the stars hanging in the sky beyond the planets. It's a night sky, but the light around you it's like a pleasant evening.
Yeah, Nausicaa tried to like map the stars, and it ended up being, it's nowhere.
I'm just thinking it. No, never mind. I don't know.
There's a possibility that this location is bilocated with New York City in some way, and that we've translated through the portal, and that we are in fact not far from the Chantry.
So, I don't want to be the bringer of bad news, but if said supposedly we were not on planet Earth anymore, I think there should be asked the question whether or not there would be germs or bacteriological elements that could constitute a problem and would ask for a quarantine. Or am I the only one who wonders that sort of thing?
Maybe a little late with the quarantine, as many of us have already been here.
And he takes out a block note. Well, I guess I will have to make blood samples comparisons and see whether or not we happen to be carrying any extraterrestrial disease or bacteria. We wouldn't really want to destroy New York by bringing back alien flu, now would we?
I don't know if that's some. I mean, I've not thought about it that way, But I don't think we're really in our own layer of reality in a way.
Well, as the person responsible for the well-being of the people of this gentry, it is my job to ask that question. So we can continue. However, yes, I will. Being the one with blood samples, at least not corrupted ones, I might be able to make. I'll be able to see if anything strange happened. But yeah, if either of the people who went there start to have symptoms, I would very much appreciate it. They came to me right away.
Ava,
Sure.
have you been having strange symptoms?
Ava has numb toes.
Well, not really.
It's snow.
Yeah.
In fact, actually, no. I imagine that probably the least practical footwear will be on Nausicaa.
Is she wearing
Yeah.
Converse?
No.
I actually think she's wearing like winter boots and everything.
No, she probably has everything aside from her shoes, which are just like her work shoes. And she literally like has a massive like puffy jacket that her way too big for her, and you can tell there's like other layers underneath it. She kind of waddles.
Yeah, so Nausicaa has numb toes.
Nausicaa
So-
looks kind of guilty and then like tries to look down at her toes and is unable to. Nearly topples over.
All right, then why don't we go any further?
Yeah. Actually, we did, I think the most important thing outside would be the river. So we might want to go there first.
All right.
Okay. So, for Damon's sake, the cave. You exit through a cave that sort of breaks through a waterfall. Not a huge one, but one that's plummeting. Well, not a huge one width-wise, but that's plummeting down from a height that you can't even see the start of it, and forming a sort of large stream, small river, whatever, that flows gently into the temple complex, and is sort of divided up once it reaches the temple through a series of canals.
Okay.
So yeah, I guess Ava will take the lead then, and we'll head towards the river.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Gurgling as it winds its way over the stones.
If there is some kind of infection here, Elijah, it may well be waterborne. You could take a sample.
I mean, he hasn't waited for you. He's already
Okay.
taking a sample with gloves on.
As Nausicaa says, actually turns around to Elijah and he's already doing it.
Yes, take sample of snow, sample of water. If there's plant life, he will definitely take a sample.
There is currently no plant life here.
God damn it.
So actually, James said there was something magical about the water. He actually pulled out something that we could later give to the guardian in the library.
Really now?
Really now.
Duncan,
Yep.
it's time to take the primordial detector out.
Okay.
Strap in those goggles and and scan everything.
Okay. Starts beeping a fair bit near the river. There's a sort of, I would say generally there's a higher sort of latent level here than there is on the other side of the portal. But as I say, the river is ticking quite a bit.
Well, yes. Yes, he's actually right.
James was right. I don't think we should tell him.
Well, I mean, I'm not the one responsible for social relationships. So I will
just
leave.
kind of has a look like that is also not me.
Yeah, as he looks at Ava, we will leave that very important information for you to judge.
Wait a moment. I'm not the one. You're the one who goes, like, who handles all the information, Nausicaa.
I handle the information, but I do not distribute it. I believe Elijah's hypothesis is correct. You should be the one to talk to him.
Fine, I'll go talk with him. But so, what's the deal then with the?
Well, I would believe, according to my reading, that indeed there is actually a primordial synergy within this water, which would make it, well, to put it bluntly, yes, magical in nature. Although the answer is actually far more complicated than this, but we can go with that answer.
Also, just nods at the techno babble.
So, what are we going to do with it?
Well, obviously, I'm taking a sample so that I may test about it and see whatever use there might be. That's what science is all about, testing.
I'm going to roll curiosity, because I can always drink it. Test it right there.
I want Paris to have started drinking from it. I was realizing.
I mean, that can be a thing.
Yes.
Anyway.
Yes. After excitedly, you can see that that Paris has been jumping about and throwing snow in the air with its nose, and generally doing the thing that dogs do when they kind of bounce in a seesaw motion through the snow, and then rolled about in it, and is now happily lapping water from the stream.
Huh. All right, but I guess we have our first test subject. As he takes out his pen and paper.
You're not going to experiment on my dog.
Step one,
I mean,
the dog has not exploded.
Step two, the dog doesn't seem to show any sort of poisoning and hasn't shown any sign of distress. So, yes, everything seems to be fine currently.
It then looks up, looks to you, and waddles over to you and begins rubbing its face on Ava's leg very happily.
She'll kneel down and pat it.
He's damp and cold. His tail's wagging so hard.
She'll just pick him up and, open her jacket somewhat so he can have some of that warmth.
Excellent.
Elijah, you should perhaps take your urine and stool samples from Paris next time he excretes. See if the magic is taking him by the body.
I've only looked slightly worried at that.
Also, the cold damp is seeping through Ava's shirt in a quite uncomfortable way.
Yeah, I can get that, but still.
But still, he's snuggling.
Well, at least it didn't die. For now. Let us hope that continues that way.
She'll just continue to hold Paris close, and she'll give Elijah.
He doesn't know what's being said, but he knows it's being talked about. So he gives big, happy, soulful eyes at Elijah with more tail wagging.
What? I'm only stating the obvious.
Please refrain from stating the obvious, then.
I can't. I'm a man of science. Stating the obvious is what I'm doing. It's my job.
Somebody has to say the obvious, or the rest of you wouldn't know what the obvious was.
The rest
Anyway.
of you.
The rest of humanity. Those without scientific baccalaureate.
Ava sighs and shakes her head and turns around.
Well,
Like,
anyway, I since you do not want me to also be the veterinarian of this chantry, although I would very much state that I'm actually probably the only qualified person. I would be very thankful if you would register any change of behavior or anything out of the ordinary, at least for a pup. Otherwise, if he becomes sick, I might not be able to help him.
Elijah, I never
Yes.
said that you couldn't be his veterinarian. I just don't want you to experiment on him.
I'm sorry, but I have work ethic.
And what does that work ethic say about dogs who drink magical water?
Well, obviously, I'm not trying to give it wings, if that's your question. It seems to only work on insects. Anyway.
Fine, you can research.
But I think that for now, whenever that is all this is needed, and I think we can continue our little exploration of this as he thinks. Have we given it a name, actually?
We've just been calling it Beyond the
Well, that is certainly not scientific.
Portal or the Temple. We could ask Lee, maybe the guardian of the chantry.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, perhaps the Temple of Mu, considering the name of the stone that brought us here.
All right, I will add it to my research. Temple of Mu, strange water, dog.
It's good to find out that the water here is not A, illusionary, and B, poisonous.
Well, as he's closer to Nausicaa, he's just mumble. Well, I mean, generally poison takes to a little bit of time to get to the digestive system.
Ah, okay.
Except extremely violent one. So we can rule out the first category.
Nausicaa nods and just looks at Paris.
Anyway, shall we proceed?
Yeah.
Sure.
So, where do you want to go? There is the temple. There's inside the temple. There's around the temple. There's the library. There is the mountain itself. There are statues. And there's the mist.
Okay. Can you just retell me what you said, Saskia? I heard temple. I heard temple, but I didn't heard the other one.
There's the temple, the library. There is outside the temple. There are the statues. And there is the mist on the mountain.
I would go with temple for now, although library seems extremely tempting.
It is. So, yep, she'll go forth and we'll show Elijah, because Nausicaa already knows the entry into the temple.
All right. Follow them. Follow them to the temple of doom.
Yeah. It's a large sort of pagoda thing, but with big stone walls. Basically, Cloud Ruler Temple, kind of like Cloud Ruler Temple from Skyrim, from Oblivion. Yeah, if you go in, there is a statue of leaves around a breaking wave in the middle. This big empty stone building, and sort of it's a nonagon, and at each end there's an alcove, or on each side there's an alcove with a sort of bowl on a pedestal with inscription on it.
Well, I mean, what do the inscription looks like? Does it look like gibberish that only a literary major can read?
It does look like the sort of thing that Ava could probably read. Yes. Ish. Well, you're not sure. It looks like it's a language.
Kinda, sorta.
Yeah.
So, have you made any progress on understanding what this writing means? Or are we still in the dark concerning those writings?
You will have translated the words, although you won't necessarily understand what the words mean.
Okay.
That will get the book up again so I can remember what the words are. One sec, sorry about this. Sorry about this. I know at least one is karma. The Akashic Brotherhood book is so badly laid out. Yeah. So you've got karma, chi, external alchemy, agents.
What was that? Agents?
Agents. 5 agents. Specifically.
Okay.
Yeah. Shen. One of them, the only one that you can clearly track, the internal alchemy and the wheel.
So yeah, she'll go past each of those pillars, and it's like, this means karma, that one chi. That one is, as she kind of squints her eyes and looks at it, external alchemy. 5 agents. Chen. Internal alchemy. The wheel. And the other two you just put in the chat, Duncan?
Yep.
Okay. And then there is Mushin and Lokadatu. I have no idea how to pronounce that.
Neither do I.
Okay, cool.
Does that mean anything? Does it correlate with anything you've been reading in the library?
I'm gonna look at the SD for that because I mean, blue books that I basically spent hours and hours trying to translate that journal, but not quite sure if it.
It will refer to. It'll refer to some concepts that you'll start referring to concepts you don't quite understand.
Yeah.
After a while. Clearly, they are. It says that they are the Dharmas, though, or it refers to the homes of the Dharmas or the pedestals of the Dharmas.
Okay. So it refers to something like pedestals or homes of things called the Dhammas, but I'm not quite sure what it actually what the meaning is. This is like the literal translation of it.
I feel like so
And,
much of this would be easier with Lee.
Quite possibly. I do remember Julie remembering, or like, I think she said that Lee was talking about these same things, so it might help asking him.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
And I did get a dream about these things. Well, I tried to get a dream about these things, and I kind of did, but it was. Did I tell you it yet, Nausicaa? Thought I did.
I think so.
Yeah. So, that's the wrong dream. I'm looking through my blue booking. So, Elijah, I tried to, yeah, like I said, try to get a dream here, like the one that I got on, so that we knew how to sort of open the portal. And I basically saw the people who were the ones that I also saw in the dream performing a ritual to open the portal. So they were dressed in animal skins, they were dressed in robes, and they were doing some sort of ritual here in front of these pillars. And after that ritual was done, there was this lightning coming from all sides, and then it was just dark and silent here. So I think they serve more than just a ceremonial purpose, but I'm not quite sure what or how or where the people went to who got in here, who built all this.
Hmm. Duncan, what does the primordial reading of this place is going? Is it going cuckoo crazy?
Nope.
It is dead silent.
It is silent.
Hmm.
If anything, this place is quieter than elsewhere.
How disappointing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, then again, he's he's not a historian of the art or architecture. So, hmm. Hmm. You think that perhaps an explanation of to what this place is about would be perhaps to know a little bit more about to whom the um Chantry belonged to in the past, or did we venture through that avenue and found it fruitless?
No, you can try.
Lee has
You know
been here for a long time. Before that, I don't imagine this building is that much older than the date he gave me.
Hmm. right. So currently we're at the temple or at the library.
Temple.
Can Nausicaa actually, Duncan, throughout this be taking various kind of like essentially taking various kind of measurements?
If she wants, yeah.
Is essentially I want to do like or try and do a time effect later for her to kind of like digitally or sort of reconstruct what it used to look like.
Okay.
Yeah, basically taking like kind of basically just like learning like the raw data, as it were, of the place.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at it inside and out.
No, that's fine.
So I'll have to do it back at the computer there. So yeah, you see Nausicaa trying to like take certain measurements, and it's quite funny because obviously her arms don't have the best mobility with like 3 different winter coats on.
There's a lot of grunting.
And a lot of like dropping a tape measure and leaning down to pick it up and falling over.
Yeah.
So, okay, here's a. No, it's gonna involve time. Fucking time sphere. But I'll ask anyway. Is there a way without using time sphere to know how old the stones of the temples are through the erosion?
So, what are you trying to work out? Sorry.
I would like to know if basically by using my mastery of the matter sphere.
Your master.
Yes.
Your apprenticeship of the Matosphere.
Yeah, like basically, is it possible to get enough data, enough information for me to determine
How? Another thing we were talking about the other day.
Yes.
Yep. How?
So I'm not going to be able to improvise that one.
And also think about the sort of information you're actually trying to gain.
Yeah, no, he would need. I would need actually a lot of chemical material to even start.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think he would have brought anything that relevant here.
No.
So I will put a pin on that for later.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else you would like to see about this place, Elijah?
As he will take a small sample of stone. You talked about statues?
Sure. They're outside, I believe.
Yeah. So there on the edge of the ledge are these massive statues, many of them ruined and broken.
Nausicaa's going to them. She's kind of like literally like going through the rubble, making like quick sketches of them, circling them, and then like looking to the places that they may have fallen down and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, basically trying to see where in the rubble things are coming from.
Yeah, there's clearly a kind of locus, which is it's actually the most broken statue. Everything's kind of spread out from there. Or at least a lot of it. Some of it just seems to have been worn down over time. but there seems to have been an initial impact or initial force.
Hmm.
Yeah, Nausicaa will pay special attention to this if it looks like there's some kind of evidence of what happened.
There's no particular evidence to say something. It just seems to have spread out from this point.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, what are we looking at?
It's
My mind
stuff.
AFK'd for a moment.
It's stuff that Arthur already knows, that there's that one of the kind of most damaged statues is kind of the locus of most of the destruction,
Hmm.
or epicenter rather.
Hmm. Elijah is gonna take a long time to observe the statues and take some notes about it. Considering he has eidetic memory, he's thinking that perhaps if he can look into a bank of image, might be able to find something.
Actually, Duncan, is there anything that might, because a lot of statues have like a little plaque with like a name or anything, is there anything like that that you can find with like a name on it?
No.
Damn it. Also not at the other statues?
Nope.
No.
They're all facing outward though.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Actually, would it be possible? And before I ask, let me check if I have it to justify. Yeah, would I be able actually to make an academic roll to see regarding the statue to see what kind of um to which kind of statues they would seems to originate from. You know what they remind me of. Like, is it more
Okay, so what you
Southeast Asia or more European? You know, these.
You can see a combination of some. In fact, you won't need to roll. Some of them are figures in sort of furs, and some of them are figures in Eastern robes. The whole architecture of this place is decidedly East and Southern Asian.
Okay.
Stupas and pagodas.
How are they actually located compared to the temple?
Give us a map. Give us a map. Give us a map.
Well, I was just thinking, like, all the people disappeared in the temple, and the statues kind of, like one seems to be the epicenter of like a blast. Could be related to each other.
So the whole thing is effectively on a ledge, and as I said, the reason you've not got a map is because I've never even worked out an approximate one or anything remotely akin to it. The whole thing is on a ledge. We're based around the big temple and a square in front of the temple. The edge of the ledge, sort of opposite the cave, sort of is where all these statues are, facing out over the misty void. They're facing out. They're all facing outwards, and say most of them are broken.
Okay. I guess that the library is of the same nature
As in?
What do you mean? Sorry.
as as he has the other character.
So the other character replied, as in?
Um, I mean, mystic and with writing that are ununderstandable at this point.
Yeah.
All right, I was just making sure.
And the books are very old. Many of them are falling apart. So we haven't been. Maybe there are some who might actually be in English or an older version of it, but the one that we found that we can kind of go through carefully, it does seem to be some sort of a journal, but it is a language, well, same as with the pillars. It's an old version of Tibetan or something.
Hmm.
It's like almost a root language.
Hmm. Hmm. Have we? Do we have? Do we have one of those books? Back at the Chantry?
No, although I've not searched the entire library back in the Chantry. Maybe there are similar books to be found there, but I didn't take any one of those books back to the Chantry. I don't think anyone else has.
Interesting. Is there a reason why you didn't took one of those books? I thought you would rather be delighted to have one of them at hand.
I have them at hand here. And like I said, they are very fragile. I am
Hmm.
not sure what moving them through the portal would do to them.
Hmm.
I believe we should try taking something through, even if it's not something as valuable as a book. But if we took a rock or a piece of rubble back through, if this is indeed a different, and she kind of rolls her eyes slightly out of a dimension, then we could see what would happen. Also, leaving something here overnight, we should leave a clock, and when we come back to it, see if it's at the same time to see
I
if
already
time
spent the
works.
night.
What was that? Sorry.
I already spent the night here.
And you believe time passed in the same rate?
Glancing over at the STE, but yeah, I guess.
Um,
Hmm.
I mean, broadly, maybe
Hmm.
Duncan
maybe
really
those.
wants to, but he knows how much this would like.
Yeah, yeah, basically. Um, yeah, are broadly passed at the same rate.
Well, I'm not quite sure down to a millisecond, but I'm pretty sure it's more or less equal.
Pity.
Hmm. Well, I have I have a sample of snow, sample of water, and small a small fragment of what appears to be one of the statues.
As well as a canine test subject.
Well, yes, but he is not originating from here. I believe. I believe I will work on something. Perhaps I can with my mastery of science. I may be able to do some radiocarbon dating, which would probably help us to at least understand a little bit better of how old this place is.
Most
Nausicaa just
likely.
nods.
All right. Well, I think I have everything that I need. We can continue to explore, or
We'll stay for a while and take some more measurements.
I'm still kind of wondering. Actually, Duncan, when we're standing like next to the statues, you said they were on a ledge.
Yep,
What's beyond the ledge?
that's the mist.
I figured. So she'll pick up a piece of rock
Mm-hmm.
and she'll throw it into the mist.
And it vanishes. Fades away. Plummeting to infinity.
Yeah.
In fact, one moment. Let me just check that. I'm gonna roll a fate die.
Oh dear.
It comes flying back, clocks you in the head.
Yeah. I would not count it
What are we
outside
all-
of the possibilities.
It vanishes into the void.
So, when I first dreamt of this place, when we were still unable to open it, I actually followed one of the paths down into the mist. But then I started falling. I'm not sure what beyond the mist.
Maybe we could try and find out. Nausicaa looks meaningfully at Paris.
Yeah, maybe we could. Ava looks meaningfully at Nausicaa. Just pressing Paris ever so slightly closer towards her.
We tied a rope to him.
I'm trying to keep him warm. He can go out in a bit.
No, I mean, if we tied a rope to him and then let him run up the misty path.
Maybe we should tie a rope around you and then toss you off the ledge.
Nausicaa thinks for a moment.
Takes one step back from the two women.
I don't believe I'd fall that aerodynamically.
I'm pretty sure with the right force behind it, you will fall quite adequately.
Nausicaa kind of thinks about it and then realizes the point and glares at Ava.
That doesn't seem like a very constructive conversation.
Sorry. Although I do remember there were paths up and down the mountain. If we have a rope, I don't mind trying to walk down one of those paths.
We could easily buy a drone, attach a GoPro camera to it.
There's not even Wi-Fi here.
You don't need Wi-Fi for a drone. It runs on battery and a Bluetooth connection.
I mean, we can try if you want to.
Nausicaa knows. It will also assist me with mapping this area. A bird's eye view would be helpful.
I'm surprised you don't have one already.
I'm a busy
Actually,
boy.
Ava looks definitely surprised. Like, this is not some kind of joke or stab. She actually is kind of surprised that Nausicaa isn't like, oh yeah, let me just go grab it from my room.
I'll order one. It'll be here tomorrow.
Okay. So, you guys think there's anything else we can do right now?
All right.
You said, Duncan, the paths that like go up the mountain and kind of like away from the temple all end in mist, essentially.
Yeah, completely. You can't see the other ends.
I'll stay in, do further assessment. If you wish to go back, then that should be okay.
I'm probably gonna go to the library, but I'll have to bring Paris back first.
You hear Nausicaa kind of say under her breath, average drone can carry 2 kilograms. Albert, how much does Paris weigh?
I don't know. I've never weighed him. I guess she tries to make an average, like a guess, because, and I don't know anything about dog sizes and weights, so just a random number. Why?
No reason.
I'm gonna be an eat the fuck out of that. Wow, 4 successes.
You get the feeling that it is in some way linked to Nausicaa's talk of drones.
She does not quite get it.
Lol.
With 4 successes, I think, yeah, you probably would. Like, Nausicaa's thinking, or at least imagining, making a little, like pack of drones to fly Paris around.
No.
No, what? I didn't suggest anything.
No. I know.
Nausicaa goes back to taking readings and kind of like basically drawing a kind of like blueprint / very basic kind of like measurements of the temple. The larger areas she just kind of like basically like measures in steps. Actually, no, she doesn't. She very awkwardly, literally just like lays a tape measure from end on end on end. It is methodical and completely inefficient.
Yeah, Ava will take Paris back to the Chantry and probably arrives back in like half an hour, 45 minutes with blankets and stuff. And this time, actually, she's not going to the library, but she's gonna install herself like right next to the statue.
Okay.
And she wants to try like a time effect. She wants to look back, see what
How is she
caused
going
the
to
explosion. Like I've done it before, but that was specifically on language, which there is none here. So what she's gonna do is she is going to write on post-its basically every aspect that she can understand of this of the statue. Write down like what it was, what it's supposed to be.
What is it supposed to be?
I don't know, but I've seen them in my dreams. I've seen them like completely new. So
Yep, that's different. That means
no,
you knew what they looked like.
yeah. So that's basically what she's gonna write down,
Right.
like literally what it looks like, what it's meant to be, like physical. I don't know what the thing is, what they are here for, which is also interesting. which are actually, you know what? Those are also things that she will write on post-its. Like basically, what she's doing is she's mind mapping the statue by writing like down what comes up in her head as she is as she's going over the statue and just posting them on the statue. And then she's going to sit at the feet of the statue and is is just gonna close her eyes and wrap herself in a blanket.
Okay, roll me your rarity. I'm going to need 5 successes.
Oh boy. What's the diff?
It's level 2 sphere effect.
So oh god, I suck at calculating the diff. So 5?
Yep.
Okay, so that's 2. And then we had a dice roller that says fuck you.
So that's 1 more because the difficulty is increased by 1.
Ah, there it is. Yeah. That's a fail. So I'm at 3 successes right now.
And currently difficulty
7.
8.
8. Okay. Oh boy. That's a botch.
That was a botch. And just take a point of paradox.
Okay. Let me see. I did have.
You get a paper cut.
And do I also lose all my successes now?
Yes.
Eh.
The effect has failed.
Yeah, that sucks.
And all of them. There's not really been any wind here at all until now, and all the post-its are blown away.
Well, damn you.
Off
She
step 2.
she looks up and let me see how many. I'm trying to find my paradox actually because I did believe I set it up properly somewhere at some point. Or I did not. Oh wait. February 9th, I had 7 paradox. God damn it, my computer is not cooperating with me. No, last record was on February the 9th with 7. So
you're not bleeding any off if you had 7 then.
no, I don't bleed off.
If you have over 5, it doesn't bleed.
Okay, then I'm at 8 now. And yeah, I think she'll look up, quite annoyed. No, it's just the statue being squeaky clean without the post-its. And you know, fuck it, she's basically gonna try this entire thing through again. But this time I want to involve also, like, if I can.
The same effect produces the same results. If you manage to garner successes, that is how you must do it. Like, from then on, that is how you do an effect.
Yeah, I was just thinking, like, because you can roll your foci, right? To
If you have a skill that is directly correlated to the effect, to how you're doing the effect, what you're doing is you're writing things down on a post-it note.
True. Yeah, fair enough. Okay. Fuck it, I'm gonna try it one more time. As she sighs and then picks up her post-it pad and she's doing the entire thing all over again.
That's 2
successes. 4 successes. Yes, 6 successes.
So as you're frantically writing everything down on the post-its, everything you can think of about the statue and this place that you know, and you're putting them down all over the statue until the writing just seems to start to take over. As you step back and you see that you've written one called "failed" and stuck it on the statue's. Tried to stick it to the statue's face.
Okay. So she'll take hold of the post-it
Mm-hmm.
and of the rest of them, because she's not gonna litter this place with post-its.
Yeah.
And she'll put the one that she doesn't realize she wrote down. She'll put it on top, and it's like, how have they failed? Was it just this one or the others? And she's gonna see if like either Nausicaa or Elijah are still close by.
You see Nausicaa slightly. She's maybe like 100 meters away. And she's, yeah, you can just kind of see her slightly in the middle distance. Quite clearly, like wrestling with the tape measure. And trying to get it to go around corners. But you can shout her.
Mm-hmm. Is Elijah also still there? Like, I don't want to immediately run to Nausicaa and kind of forget about Elijah.
Elijah is taking notes.
Okay. So yeah, she'll wait. She'll like walk up to the both of them or gather the both of them.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, so I tried to do a time effect on these statues. I tried to see what caused the explosion. And I got this, as she holds up the post-it with failed on it. From the way they're standing, I think they were some kind of guardians. If they failed, you think this place has been attacked?
I mean, that doesn't seem very far-stretched.
It does or doesn't? Sorry.
It doesn't seem far-stretched.
Yeah.
Nausicaa just kind of shrugs and looks around. Attacked by what? There's nothing here aside from this place.
Exactly. There's nothing here. There's no life here. No animals, but also no plants. No humans.
I think we should ask Lee. I think he'll have the answers,
Yeah.
or at least be able to point us in the right direction.
We might try that. You want to go there now?
Sure. I'm hungry.
Okay. Elijah, are you ready?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Then, yeah, off the magical trio goes.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they're gonna pay a visit to Lee, since, you know, we have you here anyway.
Yep. And turn to the kitchen. You are stereotypically enthusiastically greeted, and you get given prawn toast.
Nausicaa begins wolfing it down. And literally, like, suspiciously, not suspiciously, like eagerly eyeing whatever else he's cooking.
Hey, Lee, can we ask you a question?
Yeah.
Have you ever been behind a portal?
Yes.
Um, how long ago?
Mm, quite a while.
Was it like not a ruin when you were there?
At one point, yes.
What happened?
It became a ruin.
What happened to the people who went there?
Aren't you finding out?
I mean, we're trying. Why do you think we come to you?
You've come to me looking for straightforward answers.
We've come to you looking for assistance.
And here is my assistance. Julie can give you more information. She doesn't know she knows yet.
Right. Well, that's up to you guys. She looks at Nausicaa and Elijah.
Lee, I have a question.
Yes.
Are you cooking spicy ribs tonight?
Yes.
Just smiles.
Do you understand the language that they speak? Like their books, everything. It's like made up of like this more older version of Tibetan.
I can read it. Parts of it, most of it, some of it.
Can you teach me?
I can help you learn.
Okay.
Lee, so far we've just been saying we're going beyond the portal. Is there anything we should be calling that place? I thought it may have a connection to Mu, as that was what the stone was called.
What do you mean, should you be calling it? Are you worried about hurting its feelings?
No. But I think it may have been created and inhabited, and the previous people who did it may have had a name for it. I think it would be
Probably.
slightly disrespectful to make one up again.
What's this place called?
The Happy Dragon?
What was it called before?
I don't think Nausicaa knows.
Nope.
Those cocks her head. And yeah. She's actually going to stand up then and I say she's going to ring her personal assistant and ask her to pull building records for this building from the New York City Council.
I think the purpose was to say to let go.
Really? Nausicaa looks at Lee.
What do you think I meant, Nausicaa? What does it mean to you?
Nausicaa looks a little like she's trapped. She just kind of looks between Lee, Elijah, and Ava. I don't know what's happening.
Understanding you don't know is the first step towards learning something. Knowledge can only ever come out of one place, which is ignorance.
Everyone is awestruck by the by the philosophy of our cook.
Oscar looks around to see if Lee has been eating the fortune cookies and reading the insides.
Who do you think writes them all?
Yeah, exactly.
It's a fun thing. All of the fortune cookies from the Happy Dragon, the notes are handwritten.
Oh, so much work though.
Yeah.
Oscar doesn't like this line of questioning and is, just stops, much more concerned with the spicy fried ribs. This probably makes himself hungry in real life.
Yeah.
Nausicaa, I think what Lee tries to say is that his answer can have a different meaning to you than it does to Elijah. So perhaps to Elijah it means let go, but to you it could mean find out.
And how will you truly value the place beyond the portal, or whatever you want to call it, if I tell you about it or if you find out about it on your own together?
I don't really care that much. I was just slightly curious.
Ava purses her lips together slightly, this kind of frustrated. She's like, I mean, I understand the value of hard work, but it's difficult when you don't know where to start or where to go to. And when there's someone sitting on the questions or on the answers to my questions, and that could be a little frustrating.
I'll give you two things. One, speak to Julie. She doesn't know how much she knows about that place and how much she can help you.
Ava clearly is looking like she is not going to speak to Julie. She's not on good terms with Julie, and that is showing on her face.
Ava and Julie are in the middle of a social conflict.
Then I suggest that they find this as a reason to resolve it. They live together. Bringing harmony is desirable to all of us.
What's number two?
Number two,
Yes.
you're all very bright people. You think about things a lot in very specific and complicated ways. Do that less.
So what you're saying is that no one died of extraterritorial poisoning or disease by going through the portal.
Not that I've ever heard of. Can't rule it out, mind.
Oh, well, that's slightly disappointing.
Sir cocks her head slightly.
What?
Well, now that I have my goats on anyway,
Maybe we should. Maybe if the solution is to think less, we should get some of the other members of the Chantry involved, like James and Julie.
I mean, Julie would be about the right size to throw over the ledge. I mean, no, that's not something Ava would ever say, by the way.
No, she said it. She said
it. When Elijah is gonna look at her. He's gonna look at Nausicaa.
And what's more important is, saying, Lee smiles at Ava. What's more important is we all deal with out here, like adults. Won't we?
I was only joking. I would never toss her over the edge.
No, but you should definitely apologize either way.
Apologize? It doesn't matter if I do. It won't matter for her behavior. She will always bring it up anyway. There is no point in apologizing. She still brings up that Nausicaa tried to shoot her.
Why are you
Even though Nausicaa has apologized over and over again. There's no point. Besides, she also has reason to apologize. And I know that won't be coming. There's no point in it.
Lee comes over to Ava, puts a hand on her shoulder. Yes, there is.
I already apologized.
Do it again.
Why?
And gives you a big smile. I take it very kindly if you would.
Somehow that statement seems more frightening than anything.
Ava sighs. She'll pet Paris. I'll think about it.
Good. And when you're done, I look forward to hearing that you've done it.
I'll send a note.
I'll be around.
I think with that, Ava will, go out to give Paris a proper walk.
And
Just looking at the food.
please help yourself.
Would it be possible to order some luklak?
The ST doesn't know what that is.
It's a Vietnamese. It's Vietnamese. So if he knows,
Of course.
well, I know what I'm doing for my research.
You're researching Vietnamese food.
Yes, I will study the influence of Vietnamese food on my digestive system and my gustative buds.
That sounds worthwhile.
So yeah, Nausicaa will help herself. And take food up for Snaffle.
Probably best time to end scene.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Thank you, players, for playing. And thank you, any watchers, for watching. And goodbye.
And thank you, Steve, for seeing.
You have the button, Saskia.
Yeah, I